What's up, family? Gerald the Bossman here. You're tuned into the Bossman Show on AM 1010, AM 1430, 1055 The King. Let the King out at 105theking.com and the Bossman Show at bossmanshow.com. Hit me up on Instagram, The Bossman Show, Twitter at Bossman Show, and Facebook, Bossman Show. It's the Bossman on your radio.
Listen to the Bossman Show with your host, JR, Saturdays at 9 a.m. right here on AM 1010, The King.
What's up, good people? BetOnline is your number one source for all your betting needs. The latest odds, lines, and matchup reports for baseball, boxing, golf, and more. BetOnline continues to be the fastest and easiest way to place your wagers, including live betting and your favorite casino and card games available to play right from your phone. Head to the website or use your mobile device to sign up today and get in on the action. Remember to use your promo code BELIEVE, BLEAV, for your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. BetOnline, where the game starts.
BS3 Network, changing the way you watch TV.
Yes, BS3 Network, changing the way you watch TV, covering content and hot topics from A to Z, sports, music, society and culture, movie reviews, you name it, we have it. Check it out on bs3network.com or check us out on Roku, BS3 TV on Roku, as well as check out your favorite podcast on all podcast platforms or Spreaker.com/BS3 Network.
You are now tuned to BS3 Network.
Folks, new year, same show. Patrick Gayle show here with you. Coach Gayle's back doing big things. Since last time we talked, he's been a road warrior. Last time we talked, but he's here. What's up, Coach? How you doing, man?
JR, thank you for saying that, because it's been a hectic last few weeks, but thank God we're at home. We're in the middle of a 5-game homestand. Thank God.
100%. And Coach, for you, man, how has it been trying to balance these road games, resting the players? Because you're pretty much playing a schedule that I'm used to.
Yeah. Wow, it's real talk. I mean, we've had an NBA schedule that end December, but to come out of it 5-6, that first semester, that's a testament to the guys. We only had one home game in the first semester. And to be where we are after only playing one home game that first semester, I'm trying to remember. I can't even remember, but it was something like we had to go to Kentucky and Ohio, and then we had to, in less than 24 hours, get on a bus to drive to Jacksonville to fly out to the Virgin Islands. And then we played 2 games out there. And then less than 48 hours, we had to drive out to Milledgeville and Clayton to play Georgia College and Clayton State before the break. And any college coach will tell you, games before the break is you don't know what you're going to get. So, the fact that my guys were already road, weary, and the break was coming, we all needed the break. So I'm very blessed to have the set of guys that I have right now.
No doubt, Coach. And like you said, man, you never know, man. You just never know. Because, I've told you this off the air. We discussed it when we was in Birmingham together about the schedule losses, man. Like some losses, even though you have the best intentions to win the game, but build the schedule and the attrition. You just don't have it there that night.
Well, the difference is in your world, you have somebody that sets your schedule. In my world, it's me. So I guess it's me. It's a Gayle loss. It's a Gayle loss. And then our game returning was New Year's Eve. And, the NCAA had shifted their break. So we only had one practice before our game coming out of break. So again, I give all praises to the Lord and my guys. Like you just mentioned, coaches never do what I just did and just having one home game in first semester.
Yeah, but coach is going to pay off on the back end with home games on the back end. So
there you go.
I'd rather have home games on the back end than the front end.
Well, last year it was the opposite. We had to return those games, a lot of those games. So last year we had 5 games going into the break. So there you go. You're absolutely right. Hey, I'm not the type of person to keep doing the same thing. So I must have done something right because we definitely got through that threshold. But again, I'm not giving myself credit. It's a lot to do with my faith and the guys' faith and their strength. And I just want to take this break to say, I'm not going to read the scripture, but I definitely have been in the Word a lot, and I've been reading recently Hebrews 6:17 and 18. And I'm not going to read it out loud because I want people to go and read it themselves. But God put it in my heart to now start being specific with what scripture that I've been meditating and reading on, because I know a lot of people are going through some things, especially with the beginning of the year. The first of the year is not always a celebratory mode, especially when you have loss and especially when you're in a tough environment. We have college students that have had to be home and their home environment is not the best. That's why they're in college. That's why they go away to college. So, I just wanted to give that, upliftment, as we're talking about guys persevering through adversity. I just wanted to make people understand, man, you just keep pushing forward, no matter what the chips are, no matter what people may say about you, just keep pushing forward. God has a promise for you, and God can't break his promise. People can break their promises, but God does not.
And Coach, you know this about me personally, Coach. I'm going through a lot right now, but I don't show it.
You know what?
People will never know what I'm going through. I don't show it.
There you go. And because, we're locked in, I kind of can feel it. And you've been, gracious to allow me to be, kind of focused on what we're doing. Because JR's been a lot of games, man. We played a lot of games in the past month or so. So, but again, I pray for you as well as others. And, we have to make time for prayer. We have to make time for the word. So I'm making time within this, platform for that.
No doubt, Coach. Like you said, man, for me, 24 was a year I want to forget for a lot of reasons. But there was some positive 24 too. I try not to let that negative affect my outlook of that year, but you can't really, you're still there. You know what I'm saying? So I'm trying to work through myself to look at 24 more positively, even though I look at it as a big negative and a hole in my life. You know what I'm saying? So I am trying to refocus and reset and not let that of 24 affect my 25. But Coach, I would say basketball, being on the road, watching film, that helps me not worry about this stuff, but it's still that thing is still there no matter what I do. You know what I'm saying, Coach? And that's where I'm trying to tell listeners, look, you can try to push through, but just try to find your peace in something. Because I know what I'm dealing with, it's not going away anytime soon. But I put my head down, try to stay focused on the task at hand, and then I get off the marker per se.
That's right. And you're more experienced and older. Can you imagine being an 18 to 22, 23-year-old and having to, fight through and push through? You have no idea how to do it, and that's where faith comes in. That's where, everybody can make, suggestions of what you can do to get through it. There's really nothing you can do other than call on the Lord. I mean, just last year at this time, you talked about 24. 24 started rough for me last year, but I had to kind of see through the wilderness and see through and, thank the Lord, 25 has started out where, 24 wasn't good 365 days ago. The best thing about last week was, I don't get to, see my family often during the season. And first of the year, they were here last year, and it hurt, that they're not going to see any more games this season. And we took some tough losses, and then you turn around and, they come again this year, and we gritted out some wins. And, it not saying it felt good, because every win feels good, but my family doesn't see my games a lot. My sons they're into basketball. They don't get to see me coach a lot. So every time they come to see me, it's a blessing, win or loss, first of all. But obviously, for them to see, some wins compared to last year where we got, some tough losses, that was a blessing. But the message I'm trying to say, the young people, is that no matter what you go through, you have to have that same mindset, and you have to keep your eye, on the same thing, which is that, the Lord will pull you through. You can't let your environment determine how your spirit is. Obviously, we're humans. We can be emotional, but our spirit has to be grounded in something, and it needs to be grounded in a higher power.
And Coach, that's why I will go to bat for you, even if it gets me in trouble sometimes. Even if I go overboard and do things I shouldn't do sometimes, I will defend you, because your family is hours away.
Yeah.
And the sacrifice you make for these kids, this university, is a sacrifice I don't think I could even make. and you make it. And so that's why I won't let anybody disparage you, talk bad about you, because you're making a sacrifice to coach these kids and rear kids, other parents' kids, in the right direction. After the sacrifice of your own family, your own kids, and your own daughters and your wife. So that's why sometimes, Coach, I go overboard. I do some stuff I shouldn't do in your honor to defend you. But I do it because I know the sacrifice you make and how much you care about what you're doing, Coach.
Well, I appreciate that, but I'm not the only one. There's a lot of coaches. It's funny, because the more I talk to other coaches, it's like, wow, my situation is not unique. But there's something about coaching in general where men want to pour into young people. And anytime you pour into people, one of the scriptures I read earlier this week talked about, the Lord, telling people to feed his flock. When you try to, give to other people, you're not going to get back what you give. Heck, let's be honest. We don't give back to our creator what we should. We idolize ourselves. We idolize material things. So we're not always that. So, I appreciate what you're saying, but I know when you're in this type of field, when you pour into people, you're not always going to get back what you pour in, but that's not why you do it. You do it because the Lord gives you a platform, gives you a purpose. And that's the only reason that I'm doing it. And the second that I try to idolize myself or idolize other things, I'll get knocked down, and I've been a better coach through the worst years. I've been a better coach through the tough years. Like you said, people disparage me, and actually I pray for them. I'm fine with that, because it keeps me focused on what I should be focused on. Never should you ever focus on yourself. Never should you idolize yourself. And I've learned the last few years the hard way, and I thank God for it. Humility is a superpower.
And yeah, Coach, it really is. That's why I'm like, I know you don't want praise, but I'll do it for you, and I will defend you to the end, because I know one thing I know you care about me as a person. You want me to be better too. I've said this on there before. Coach Gayle has helped change my life even. Y'all don't understand that, because Coach Gayle has helped me be better, because my default is something else, so y'all know what it is.
But it's not Coach Gayle. It's just the Lord speaking. I have to do what he directs me to do. And I appreciate you saying that. And all it means is that I get more opportunities to help others, and I have to self-evaluate. But, I'm trying, JR. I'm trying, even with you, man. There's certain things I want to tell you that I'm like, you know what? I don't want to come off as preaching to you, because at the end of the day, we're both humans. We're both flawed. So I want you to know, that we're both flawed, but the biggest thing is that if you care about somebody, that's what I live by. If you care about somebody, let them know.
Yeah, no, you do a great job of it, Coach. You do a great job of it, Coach, and I'm thankful that you actually care enough to try to help me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
A lot of people
I can't watch you with something on your face and not say something. Just like if you can't tell me, man, you got something, that's why I love my wife. She will tell me. It's almost like, man, I'm kind of scared to go around her sometimes, because it's like, what's she gonna find out? But the first thing she always says is, would you rather me not say anything? Because other people that don't say anything to you, they don't care about you. So that's how I act. That's how I react with people. I'm going to tell you something that is there, and I want you to do the same with me. I don't have an interest in us both being phony. I don't have time for it, and that's not why I'm on this earth.
And no doubt, Coach, I'll tell you this, Coach, you've helped me help my teammates, because the lessons you get imparted in me, I can give to them and try to talk to them in certain ways now to make them grow as well. So, Coach, trust me, things you give me, I give it to my teammates too, who I talk to all the time, and try to help guide them as well. And because a lot of us are that same cloth, Coach. So,
well, it's cool though, because you talk to me about your teammates. It's cool that you guys give back, and congratulations to you guys. And I know how close you guys are to the program there at your alma mater. And hey, man, y'all did some big things this season, and I'm proud of you, proud of your alma mater for what they did, man. Big time.
And shout out to DRC going to the Black College Hall of Fame.
That's awesome. That's big time, man. I know you're proud of them. That's big time.
That's my guy, man. Yeah, so I'm proud of DRC. He needs recognition. I feel like,
He does. But talk about what he does off the field and what he's done, after his playing days, and how awesome he is for your alma mater.
I mean, he's there. He's present. He's there to talk, to give mentor to kids and show them that, hey, we made it from this school, Tennessee State. You can too. He does his football camps in Sarasota, Florida, down on the Gulf Coast over on the west side of Florida. So he's also doing some coaching as well, flag football coaching. So he's involved in little DRC's going up too. So
That's awesome.
So yeah, like that's my guy. Came in together, a lot of stories together. I can't say on the air.
But that's what it's all about. That's what collegiate athletics is all about, man. When in this climate that we're in with NIL and talk of not having the passion, it's awesome to hear guys like you give back, guys like DRC give back, man. That's what makes me keep going, man. Stuff like that.
The fun of hanging out at Fisk and Meharry, going to like 615 and the little happy hour spots. And also we do have, they can tell me being in the diner hall and, just post up a diner hall, having a good time. So watching BET, playing ping pong in the game room. All them things.
What would you say is the most memorable experience you've had as a student athlete at Tennessee State?
Playing in Atlanta and the Falcons were there. And Mike Vick was on the sidelines.
Oh, wow. And shout out to Mike Vick, who's now the head coach of Norfolk State.
And Deshaun
Jackson, HBCUs. I love it.
So,
and let me, and I'm sorry, JR, this is Coach's show, so I'm just going to say this. I want people to understand this. To coach at an HBCU, to coach at not what you would call a Power 5 institution, the amount of work that they've already done. Forget about what they're going to do. No. It starts before you get the job. If you're trying to be successful, anytime you win where you're not having the same as the big schools. First, you got to take from your own reservoir, whatever it may be, resources. But the amount of work that these men, these big time athletes are doing, and they don't have to do it. Kudos to them. People have no idea how hard it is to coach, especially to coach at levels where you don't have what everybody else has. But, I have to also shout out, I used to, I live in South Florida. I have a home in South Florida. Shout out to Teddy Bridgewater, Miami Northwestern. Anybody from Miami know the West. To see what he did, these guys are working. They're not like, you may look at, these TV shows about coaching, these documentaries or whatever about coaching, and think all it is you come in and yell. No. It's a lot of long hours. There's no sleep. Like you said, sacrifice to your family. You pour into people. You have to show that you care. You have to show, not talk about it. You have to show that you care to be successful. And to win one game, much less a championship, you know how much work that takes? So shout out to all these NFL athletes that are doing their thing, giving back to HBCUs.
Yeah, shout out to Charles Huff too, coach. Was on staff of Tennessee State when we was there.
That's right.
Head coach of us of the Miss now. And shout out to Rod Reed, our coordinator, defense coordinator at Tennessee State, becoming head coach. His son Marcel Reed, starting quarterback at Texas A&M, making it NIL money. Shout out to Marcel Reed. I don't know Marcel was a little young boy running around to TSU. Now he's the quarterback at Texas A&M.
But that's what I'm saying, Jared. Isn't that awesome what you just said, man? That you get to see these young people grow up and it's just, everybody's going to talk about the craziness going on in the world. I'd rather talk about stuff like that because they don't have to do it.
Eddie Robinson Jr., coach at Alabama State.
Yes.
A former Titan who I knew very well, was in real estate, coach.
Yes.
He came back to be a coach. Michael
and I'm sorry,
millions at Fox to be at NFL State.
I'd be remiss. Your alma mater, you got a legend coaching at Tennessee State, and he won a championship. I mean, I know how hard it is to win, so, shout out to all these former, legends, of the game that have poured in to young people. It's a blessing, man. It's a blessing.
Yes, and Tremaine Jackson goes from Valdosta to Prairie View. Sam Shea leaves Miles to go to Alabama A&M. So, because I remember when we was at Miles, that's the game they won.
Yep.
He got a job.
That's right. They won that day. They won earlier that day. That's right. Now he's Alabama
A&M. So,
right.
You see it happening, man. Chris Dishman, remember him from the Oilers?
Yeah, Chris Bishop, Houston Oilers.
Texas Southern.
I cried when they lost to Buffalo, man. I was a big Warren Moon fan.
Yeah, man. Look here. I'm going to say this, Coach. It's not you saying it. The Tennessee Titans should not be wearing the Oilers uniforms. Ever. That was dirty. You're putting the Texans in Tennessee in Oilers uniforms. That's dirty, Coach.
Well, as much as you have an opinion about that, I don't think you're going to sway that big machine from changing what they're doing.
No,
at least you can voice your opinion, right?
Trust me. Hey, look, you didn't give me a workout, so I'm going to talk about talk.
So guess what? I was just talking to my high school teammate last night, but look at where you are now.
Yes.
Look at where you are now. To like you said, to give back to young people, man. That's the biggest thing you can do in life, is to give to others. Is to use your purpose to help others. Like I said earlier, feed the Lord's flock.
And Coach, it was great. You said something, Coach. Some of me and my teammates and I, we're still cool to this day.
It's good.
We still hang out. And I've told you the stuff that we do together. And it's like magic.
Yeah, that's how it should be.
When discussed it, talked about it, we'll start doing it, and it happens.
It's called synergy.
Yes, synergy. Yes. Yeah. So that's the thing about it too, Coach. We just don't have no beef with each other. We just It's all love.
And again, those are the one good thing about our schedule, earlier this season is you can see, when guys come together for a common cause, for a common goal, man, great things can happen. And the biggest thing is to protect that and not let the outside noise come in, because the outside noise is going to come in. You just have to, understand your purpose, understand what your role is for the bigger, greater good, which is the team. And it's special, man. I love to be a part of it. I thank the Lord every day that I'm a part of this thing called, college athletics. And I'm just going to continue to pray for us, continue to pray for others. And right before loss this season, I won't bring up the specific game, but right before loss this season, I always pray before a game. And I said, Lord, I'm good with whatever the outcome is. And boy, we got thumped. But guess what? That was a test, because you have to have that same spirit, whether you're losing or you're winning. Mm-hmm. And I'm telling you this from experience. Yeah. Nobody becomes a worse coach. You can only become a better coach the longer you're in it, if you're doing the right things. And if you're doing the right things, don't let anything else stop you from continue to going. I'm telling you, telling you that from experience. You have to have faith. You have to be able to see something, and that not everybody can see. That you can't even see. That's what faith is. And you're going to get tested. That's the one thing you have to understand in life. You're going to get tested. So, remember how the shows were last season, JR? I hope they have the same energy, and, the Lord is with us, and I don't need man, or I don't need anything tangible, records or material to prove that. It's all in our spirit, and that's how I get up, and it's how I move every day. So this is just an encouragement to every coach out there that pours in. I'm not unique. I appreciate the praise, JR, but the praise goes to the Lord, because it's not just one. He gives all of us that opportunity. And I see a lot of coaches pouring into their kids, and I never judge, any coaches by records, because I know how hard they work, and I know how much they put in, and I hope, people that aren't coaching will listen to that, because there's a lot of good men that this profession has damaged, because people are delusional and people are not understanding that when you have your judgment day, they're not looking at wins and losses. They're not looking at NIL money, because as it's stated in the Bible, those that didn't have give the most, because they're giving everything they have with that little. And those that have a lot, that feel like they're tithing, no, you're not giving everything, because we're not judged by what we have materially.
No doubt. And Coach, go back last year, I was going through a hard time, but I went to Memphis right before my birthday, because that's like a home game for me, because I had 203 people I had to buy tickets for.
Wow.
Because Tennessee State's biggest alumni base is where?
Memphis, Tennessee. Yep.
So I was going through hell, but I still went to Memphis because all those people who I know wanted to see me. And there was less love.
You able to pay your mortgage in January, right?
I was. Yeah. 203 tickets, man, Coach. That was a hell of a charge I had.
I was about to say. And again, JR, I ain't putting my business out there, but just know, man, I understand what it means where, man, you look at that paycheck and you're like, how am I going to figure this out? Especially when you have children. You don't even have children. I got children. So, but again, that's the grace of God. That's why I say, when people, say certain things, especially in social media, man, I hate that. Instead of just, being a man and talking to that person face to face. But, the negative things that come out, man, I wish people would just stop it. Are young people getting better? Are people, I had a former player watch us play on Saturday. And I always ask him about, his family and about his career. And he lives in Atlanta. You met him. And it's just awesome to see how well he's doing for himself. It's awesome to see his vision that he has for himself in his career years from now. And it's like, that's what you should judge coaches on. Are they having success post their playing careers, post their college careers, but we don't do that.
Nah, we want to hate and, do stupid stuff. And I'm not about that. Like I said, I go where I'm loved. And I'm saying, like I said, Coach, before we close out, Detroit, another TSU base. A lot of people come out to the game. Milwaukee, Chicago, Indiana. So those cities right there, Charlotte, a lot of TSU alumni show up at those games to see me. So I thank them for that. But Memphis is like the biggest one. I got to buy all the tickets. We March 3rd, Memphis. I already know I'm getting hit up now. They look for Atlanta on schedule. They say, we going to that game. We know he's coming.
Speaking of which, JR, I'm gonna put you on blast. I might. I don't know if when y'all play in Miami, I might need to hit you up after the season. Just saying.
I got you, Coach. I sure will, Coach. I got you. Folks, we're back at it 2025, Patrick Gayle Show. We'll hit you on the rebound. Coach loves rebound. We'll hit you on the rebound. We got you.
That's right. That's what life is all about, getting those rebounds.
BS3 Network, changing the way you watch TV.
Yes, BS3 Network, changing the way you watch TV, covering content and hot topics from A to Z, sports, music, society and culture, movie reviews, you name it, we have it. Check it out on bs3network.com or check us out on Roku, BS3 TV on Roku, as well as check out your favorite podcasts on all podcast platforms or Spreaker.com/BS3 Network.
You are now tuned to BS3 Network.
What's up, good people? Bet Online is your number one source for all your betting needs. The latest odds, lines, and matchup reports for baseball, boxing, golf, and more. Bet Online continues to be the fastest and easiest way to place your wagers, including live betting and your favorite casino and card games available to play right from your phone. Head to the website or use your mobile device to sign up today and get in on the action. Remember to use your promo code BELIEVE, BLEAV, for your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. Bet Online, where the game starts. What's up, family? Jared the Bossman here. You're tuned into the Bossman Show on AM 1010, AM 1430, 1055 The King. Check The King out at 105theking.com and the Bossman Show at bossmanshow.com. Hit me up on Instagram, The Bossman Show, Twitter at Bossman Show, and Facebook, Bossman Show. It's the Bossman on your radio.
Listen to the Bossman Show with your host, JR, Saturdays at 9 a.m. right here on AM 1010, The King.